Hello everyone, and welcome back to our round 3 winner side. We've got 4 more high octane matches ready for you today, and we are starting off with a very exciting match between King K. Rool and Incineroar. Now, King K. Rool is our number 2 seed overall, and currently the highest seeded player on winner's side since Ness is down on the loser's side of the bracket. Now, Incineroar is still pretty high up there, at least on the top half of the roster. He's actually seed number 34, and just barely makes it back to that left-hand ledge as King K. Rool continues to layer on a bunch of damage. That cannonball goes soaring off and just barely misses King K. Rool from taking that stock, but he does get the blunderbuss suction at the ledge and finishes off that first stock from Incineroar. So we'll have to see if Incineroar can continue to claw his way back into this, or if King K. Rool is going to continue his dominant streak. Incineroar going pretty low, does manage to make it back to ledge both times there, gets the up tilt and misses the up B punish there before getting struck by King K. Rool's crown as he goes around. Gets the counter power up there, and gets the up tilt off of it, which isn't the best punish we could see from Incineroar here. King K. Rool makes it back to the stage after clipping off of that ledge. And Incineroar looking to finish off that stock and try and even out the stock count. He gets a parry on the second part of that up smash, which is very interesting, seeing that he got struck by the first half of it. And that blunderbuss cannonball catches Incineroar off stage this time, giving K. Rool a 2-stock lead. And Incineroar needs to find a way to finish things out. It's got a very difficult recovery to punish as he makes his way back up to that ledge there. That propeller, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does enough to cover any sort of contest from the upside of the character. You've got to come at him horizontally, and Incineroar does not have a lot of tools for that. Max Rage K. Rool is here, and that is a scary prospect for sure. Incineroar gets the forward air there and finally manages to take a stock with his powered up stance. And King K. Rool gets the grab and the forward throw here. Doesn't get any sort of continuation off of that crown, but the forward tilt is going to be enough, and King K. Rool takes an early lead in this set. Alright, Incineroar has counterpicked over to Small Battlefield, a very interesting choice for him for sure, as he is probably looking to eliminate some platforms from the equation that he could find on other stages here. And both combatants kind of dancing around each other here, which is fairly similar to what we saw in the first game. Now, we'll hope to see Incineroar do a little bit better, and he explodes out of the gate with that forward smash landing and takes an early lead here, which is quite the opposite effect of what we saw from him in Game 1. K. Rool gets the down throw into up smash. It's not enough to pick up the kill. And K. Rool is far off the side there, but he does manage to make it back. His recovery is quite versatile, all things considered. Goes for the short hop back air and doesn't manage to land it, but gets the forward air there at the ledge. And Incineroar uses his get up attack to get around the blunderbuss counter that K. Rool was fishing for there at that ledge. K. Rool looking to even things out if he can. We haven't seen Incineroar land one of his Alolan Whip side Bs this match, which would very easily be a benefit for him. K. Rool finally gets the dash attack off the down throw to even out the stock counter here, and he is fishing for additional damage here against Incineroar. Gets him in the blunderbuss twice, and Incineroar comes back with that forward air. It does land, and K. Rool landing that back air at center stage. It's not enough to pick up the kill. Incineroar is going to be able to avoid that cannonball this time around. Both combatants keeping things relatively even, but K. Rool just has a lot more tools for keeping Incineroar at bay. And Incineroar finally lands that side B grapple, but he does not get anything out of it, and as a result, K. Rool finishes things off with an up air and Incineroar retaliates off of the restock. We are on the last stock of this game, and we'll have to see if Incineroar can pull things out and force a Game 3 situation. He's struggling with it currently, does make it back to the ledge, gets hit by the up smash from King K. Rool there, and this match may be about as good as done unless Incineroar can get a nice sequence of comboing damage here. Maybe if he can land a side B and get that Alolan Whip clothesline, he can finish things off. It's not going to be enough, but he certainly evened out the counter there, and Incineroar clanks the down air with the up B and does pick up the win, forcing us into that Game 3 situation. K. Rool counterpicking over to Hollow Bastion, and this will be an interesting venue to see as we have only one platform to play around at this point. And Incineroar is whiffing a couple of attacks as K. Rool attempts to make his way around his opponent there. He does manage to retreat back to ledge with his propeller. And Incineroar is really trying to put the pressure onto K. Rool and force him into a disadvantaged state. He does pick up the crown in the middle of that side B. And K. Rool doesn't quite land the cannonball after that use there. He gets hit by these Alolan Whips from Incineroar a little bit more as we've seen the match progress, as Incineroar didn't really use any of them in that first match. And we've got the forward throw coming out there. It's not enough to finish him off, but the blunderbuss will work just fine. That's been a really good killing option that K. Rool has opted for over the course of this set. Both opponents spamming their counters, neither one of them landing. I don't think that K. Rool has landed a single counter in the entirety of this match. Both combatants making it back to the ledge there. K. Rool hits his forward air at ledge to rack up a little more damage. That jab combo at ledge from Incineroar is going to pick up that stock, and we're even at 2 stocks apiece, but Incineroar is at a very heavy deficit and still needs to rally back, and seems to do so with 2 consecutive Alolan Whips back to back there. And we've got the downward angled forward tilt coming out from King K. Rool that actually picks up a stock there. So K. Rool back on top where we would expect to see him. And we've got that footstool coming out from King K. Rool on Incineroar. That forces a very quick finish to this set. King K. Rool will stay on our winner's side. Incineroar will transition down to the loser's side of our bracket, and he will be forced to face off against the number 1 seed Ness when we see him in his next appearance. So he's certainly got his work cut out for him. But let's move on to our second match of the day. Next up, we have King Dedede and Dr. Mario. Now, King Dedede and Dr. Mario are actually very highly seeded. We have a number 15 with King Dedede, and Dr. Mario is at our 18 seed. So both of these combatants have done very well for themselves in this tournament as of yet. And Dr. Mario is looking like he's struggling a little bit in keeping even with our percents here. But he does have some pretty good tools for keeping the Gordo out of immediate circulation from King Dedede there. Dedede goes for the forward smash. It's a very powerful attack if he manages to land it, but it's got a lot of startup that's associated with it, so he may not be able to land it in ways that will benefit him as much as it would in other matchups. Dr. Mario gets hit by that up smash from King Dedede. It's not enough, but the down tilt will be on that platform hanging off the right-hand side of the stage. So Dedede taking an early lead here, and does still have problems trying to get that Gordo to connect, which is a problem for him, as that's a really good and useful tool in his kit. That Gordo got reflected back again and actually made contact with Dedede this time, and Dr. Mario finally picking up a stock with that neutral air there at the left-hand ledge. He goes for the down B Doctor's Tornado there, and finally getting some utility out of that Gordo. Dr. Mario has been really good at spacing around those Gordos from Dedede or reflecting them right back at his opponent. Things relatively even in terms of percent here. Dedede opts for the high recovery onto the platform as opposed to snapping to ledge. And Dr. Mario gets hit with that Gordo one more time. But it's not with as nearly as much power as it has been. Almost gets a shield break with that forward smash. If he would have charged it for another moment or two, he would have been in some real trouble there. Dedede needs to make it off of that platform as it goes over into the left blast zone. He does manage to do so. Air dodges away to avoid any sort of retaliation from Dr. Mario. But they are both going to have some trouble here at picking up a kill as they dance around each other. And that Gordo sitting right in the middle of the stage has given us some very nice pressure. Dedede picks up Dr. Mario with his neutral special. That is not a killing move for him at all. He can't get a benefit out of it. Dr. Mario picks up that second stock with the forward smash and is currently maintaining a healthy lead against King Dedede here. Gets the down B rising through that platform and the grab to the couple of up airs, or attempted up airs, only a few of which actually landed. And Dr. Mario jumping into that Gordo. It doesn't finish him off. And we've got a down air, neutral air, I think, actually coming out from Dr. Mario there. And Dedede looking to finish things off if he can. Dr. Mario's up at a very scary 188%. Dedede just needs to land anything, and that up smash is certainly a move that will help him out. But he needs to rally back and get a lot of damage onto Dr. Mario. Unless Dr. Mario throws it away by going way too deep off of that left-hand side. And Dr. Mario certainly throwing away an opportunity there. So we'll see if he can rally himself back in round 2. Alright, we have a counter pick from Dr. Mario taking us to Final Destination, which gives Dedede less options to kind of run away and safely get back around his opponent there. We've got that neutral special coming out. It doesn't do a whole lot for King Dedede. It does disrupt the match a little bit, but when he sucks up an opponent, it is incapable of picking up a kill, though projectiles, depending on their strength, can vary. I don't think he'd get a lot of utility out of using or inhaling one of the pills from Dr. Mario, though. Ooh, that Gordo gets reflected back into King Dedede by Dr. Mario's up B, and Dedede finally lands one of those forward smashes. Again, we've talked about how powerful those can be if he manages to land them. Got a couple of up tilts coming out from King Dedede there. Dr. Mario making it back to ledge. He's trying to throw out those Gordos at all of the worst moments there. Both combatants making it back to that right-hand ledge, and in a very close race, Dr. Mario uses the cape this time to reflect the Gordo. Any move can actually reflect that. Gets a second reflection off of that Gordo as it's sent to cover King Dedede's return to stage. And that up air sends Dr. Mario very far away, but he was high enough to the point where he didn't have to worry about recovering back to stage there. Gets a down air in the center of the stage and gets the spike to connect as well. And Dr. Mario looking to pick up a stock. He finally does so with his down B there. And that's a very powerful move for him if he is able to land it. Probably one of his stronger options when it comes to picking up those kills. Dr. Mario gets caught in the neutral B from King Dedede yet again. And we've got that rapid jab out from King Dedede that really rallies a lot of damage there. Gets hit by his orange Gordo once again. And that forward smash from Dr. Mario, it has a very wide area of effect to it, so he's got to be cautious with that. Goes far and away into the right side, or the left side, barely manages to make it back there, and actually picks up a kill with his down B. which is really advantageous for Dr. Mario here, where he's looking to extend the interaction to a Game 3 if he can. King Dedede finally picking up a kill with the up tilt there, but he is hurting quite a bit at a 65% deficit here. Gets the up tilt, or the up air, out of the neutral special connection there. And Dr. Mario is low, does manage to make it back. King Dedede can make it back from a lot lower of an area. Almost gets that disrespectful down air off of that side, which would have been devastating for Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario lands the forward air there. It's not enough to pick up a kill. And we do have that up air coming out from King Dedede again. He goes for the air dodge instead, gets the cape turnaround, but it's not enough to pick up a kill. And Dedede just barely misses clipping the ledge there as he attempts to retreat back to the stage. And we will see another Game 3 interaction here to decide who stays on winner's side. Alright, round 3 in this set, and we are in Northern Cave. King Dedede really looking to take advantage of having some platforms available to him again, as he likes to recover and retreat back to those areas. Gets the down tilt there. Dr. Mario is very far away off that edge. He did still have a jump available to him, so he's going to make it back. King Dedede burns that up B pretty early, but is able to clip back to ledge just barely as well. They're really fighting off that right-hand side of the stage a fair amount here. And we've got the grab and the forward throw. King Dedede going deep, trying to mess up Dr. Mario's chances of recovering. Dr. Mario does make it back to ledge, but gets hit by that down air and spiked into the bottom blast zone by King Dedede. And we now have a tie game as Dr. Mario lands, I believe that was an up special, to take that stock and even us out at 2 stocks apiece. Dr. Mario really having a hard time keeping pace with King Dedede in this match. Misses that up smash, which would have been really good for him to continue layering in some damage and building back the deficit that he has. Gets the forward throw off the side of the left stage. And that Gordo, again, it's just really having a hard time landing and giving King Dedede that benefit, as Dr. Mario is able to send that flying back with a simple connection from the pills that he's throwing around. Dr. Mario just barely manages to make his way around that Gordo. Both combatants getting back around that right-hand side. And air dodges around that Gordo that time around. That rapid jab might be enough, and it is. King Dedede on top again. Gets a nice little bit of retaliation damage here. Looking to build up his lead where he can. Dr. Mario connects another one of his up specials, but it's not enough to pick up a kill this time around. Dedede keeps fishing for that down B, though it's not doing what he's hoping that it would. Both combatants making it back to that left-hand side of the stage there. And Dr. Mario throwing that Gordo back with a cape. And gets a singular jab into down tilt. Dr. Mario goes for the cape turnaround on the Gordo. It doesn't manage to do anything beneficial for him. Dr. Mario connects his up air, but it's not nearly enough to pick up any sort of benefit. Finally gets the short hop nair to finish out the stock there from Dedede. We're even on the last stock of the set. And King Dedede currently attempting to rally back, sends Dr. Mario far away with that Gordo, and Dr. Mario burns all of his resources, isn't able to make it back, and King Dedede picks up the win in this set, and we'll see him continue into round 4 of our winner's side to face off against King K. Rool. Meanwhile, Dr. Mario will need to face off against Rob in the loser's side of the bracket. So definitely not the greatest position to be in. But we've got another match ready to go, so let's transition over and have a look at that. Into the third set of the day, and we have Ike versus Isabelle. Now, Isabelle has done a very good job at consistently performing here in this first half of our bracket, as she's a 26 seed and dispatched of Yoshi in that first match, and Ike is been doing very well as our number 7 seed in the tournament overall. Though Isabelle, I don't know if she has any feasible answers to the tools that Ike has and that large disjointed hitbox that he has with his sword that really helps him create space. However, he doesn't seem to have much of an answer to the fishing rod that Isabelle is using here. And finally figuring out he can use that side B to destroy that landmine that Isabelle is capable of putting out there. Isabelle gets the fishing rod and the back throw out of it, and Ike picks up a kill with that up air, which is not a huge surprise, as that's something that he is very capable of doing with his large connecting swings on his aerial hitboxes there. Isabelle gets caught by the up B at that ledge, and that's a scary place to be, because if you're at just the wrong angle, you're going to end up in that lower blast zone. And Isabelle gets a down throw into an up air to finish off Ike's first stock of the match here. Isabelle opting to retreat back to ledge with her fishing rod as opposed to her up B, which can be a little more reliable in certain circumstances for her. And she does it again off of the left-hand side there. Ike really looking to connect one of his counters here, as it's a very strong move for him. And he rolls around the end of that fishing line, but ends up getting caught up in the mine that Isabelle has left out there. And she can be a little tricky with trapping her opponents that way. Gets the fishing rod connection there after the shield drop from Ike. It is very beneficial for Ike and any of Isabelle's contestants that she is unable to connect through the shield with that fishing rod. Things are relatively even in terms of percent. We've got that forward air coming out from Ike. That actually may have been a back air now that I look at it again. And Isabelle gets that second stock with her up air. It's a really good move for her. That's the same one that she used on the first stock against Ike. And Ike finishing off Isabelle's second stock with a forward smash, destroying her landmine in the process. But that fishing rod is ever present, and you've got to be careful with it. Isabelle with a relentless chase down across stage there, and Ike in a bit of some trouble here. He does not connect that hitbox, but he's way far off on that left-hand side. And Isabelle gets caught up in the up B despite being at the advantage, and Ike picks up that win on a whimsy, which is a really interesting thing for him to do. We'll have to see if Isabelle can avoid making that same mistake in the second match if she wants to force a game 3. Isabelle has counterpicked over to Kalos Pokemon League, which is going to give her a couple of extra options in terms of platforms that she can retreat to, which she is very appreciative of, I'm sure. Ike is really doing a good job at keeping his distance from Isabelle and getting her to connect with those large hitboxes off of his sword. Isabelle looks for that down air off stage. She doesn't manage to land it, but she does get the fishing rod that sends him far away into that right-hand side. Ike is a very capable recoverer, though he can only use his side B or his up B, and has to make a snap decision as to which one he feels is going to be the best option for him. He gets the down air as Isabelle latches onto that right-hand ledge, though, and it's not enough to pick up a kill, but it's a very scary message to be sending, and Isabelle's going to have to be cautious as she attempts to make her way back to stage, and is unable to do so with that unrelenting pressure coming out from Ike. Ike just barely manages to make his way around that fishing rod there. and Isabelle trying to bait him into that landmine that he's got set up there. Ike does manage to roll around it and then connect on a down smash. Isabelle needs to pick up a kill, manages to do so with that back air, and we're even on 2 stocks apiece. Isabelle even preserving a nice little bit of her deficit there and has now turned it into a lead by about 15 points there. Now Ike is really looking to pick up any sort of extra damage that he can, and he gets baited in by the fishing rod, rolls right into the Lloyd hydrant mine that's there, and does manage to get the air dodge through the up smash from Ike, which is really good for Isabelle there to continue building her lead. She does miss the fishing rod there as Ike was on the left-hand ledge, but she's going to relentlessly run him down with her many recovery options she's got there. The Lloyd Rocket has expired, and Ike just barely manages to make that back to ledge with his side B. He opts for it again, makes it back one more time, and gets caught by the fishing rod. I think that was a wrong move by Isabelle. She should have gone for the back air. She does manage to pick up that second stock with the up air anyway. And Ike throwing out a wild up smash, attempting to pick up a kill there. Does not get it, but finally manages to even things out with a dash attack. And we're in a very similar situation to what we saw in Game 1. We'll have to see if Isabelle can avoid making that same mistake. She almost gets caught up by it again, which would have been devastating for her, as she's looking to at least force a Game 3 situation, if not pick up the set entirely. Misses the grab, but gets the up air on that platform. Isabelle doing a really good job at staying ahead of Ike here in terms of percent. And we've got those back airs coming out from Isabelle that have a lot more spacing potential on them. We get the up tilt into the up air. It's not going to be enough. Ike gets a jab combo, which lands a lot of extra percent onto Isabelle. Back throw's not going to do it. And that fishing rod does not connect with Ike as he makes it back to that left-hand ledge there. We've got the forward air coming out that sends Isabelle into a rough patch. Isabelle lands a close proximity up air, and Ike gets caught up in that Lloyd Rocket. It's not going to be enough. She's laid down another one, which could be the end of that stock if Ike gets caught up in it again. Though, if we're being frank, the next significant hit is going to be enough to finish it for either combatant here. And that Lloyd Rocket is going to do it as Ike gets carried up towards the top blast zone and loses that final stock. So we are off to a Game 3 once again. We have moved over to Lilith Cruise for all the marbles. And Ike is probably interested in creating some problems for Isabelle with these oddly angled platforms and edges of the stage. He has yet to land a counter this entire match, but that's not going to stop him from going for it. Isabelle really doing a good job at keeping pace with Ike here, really making him consider if he is misjudging there. Finally gets a counter landed, as he's been looking for that all set. Ike makes it back to ledge, rolls around that Lloyd mine. And Isabelle does manage to connect him with that automatic detonation of it, as opposed to the proximity detonation there. Ike really high up there on that right hand, or that left hand side just there. But he is able to get his way around it. He makes it back to ledge, and that Lloyd Rocket was either destroyed by his retreat or it ended up expiring right before it would have connected with him. I wasn't able to tell which one that was. Ike does get rid of the Lloyd Rocket again with that up air as he connects through that platform. And Ike goes for the up smash. He does miss it, but manages to destroy that Lloyd Rocket again. That forward throw with the fishing rod Not going to be enough this time around. And that's going to be curtains for Ike's stock there as he gets caught in that Lloid Rocket again. You'd think that he had figured out how to properly deal with that over the course of this set, but he keeps falling victim to the Lloid landmine. Isabelle gripping tightly onto the right side of that stage there. She doesn't get the connection with the fishing rod there as she retracts it back through Ike's shield. And she does space him out with that forward air as they both retreat down to the main stage. Ike really having troubles with the long distance fishing rod there. Does manage to connect a down air and even out our stocks. Isabelle gets a very seldom seen up smash to connect right there on that central platform. And gets the forward throw, a little bit of a 0 to death combo off of the restock there from Isabelle. And she is a full stock up and looking to extend that lead if she's able to, which she is doing everything in her power to do. Isabelle, in a very scary position, gets caught with that up B Aether from Ike and doesn't get thrown down into the abyss for it, but it's a really scary thing anytime that you're too close to that ledge, because it's always a possibility. Counters into Ike with that neutral jab there, and we've got the down throw into the up air, a really nice tool in Isabelle's kit that she likes to use quite a bit from what we've seen in this match. Gets the down air to connect there. And Ike takes advantage of that lengthy startup on the down B from Isabelle to land a forward smash. And doesn't pick up the kill, but the down smash a couple of seconds after the fact will indeed do that. And we've got some forward airs coming out from Isabelle, really doing a good job at creating some space against this Ike. We've got that forward throw. It's not going to be enough. That Lloid Rocket is poised there at the ledge. Ike does destroy it with his get-up attack, and Isabelle looking to set it up as it's been a really good tool for her over the course of this match. Does get the back throw off of the fishing rod. It's not going to be enough. Ike is now at max rage. That forward smash just barely missed from Isabelle, and Isabelle misses an opportunity to rally back. Ike connects with an up smash and pulls off the victory here in 2 wins out of the 3 stocks that we saw, or the 3 games that we saw. Now, Isabelle will be back. She's going to have to face off against Richter in the loser side of the bracket, which is never a fun opponent to go up against. But we've got one final matchup to get into today, so let's pivot over to that final set. I hope you're not sick of swords, because we've got another sword matchup here. Link versus Mii Swordfighter. And Link just has a lot of a varied arsenal here that you've got to be cautious with. Now, Mii Swordfighter is the favored combatant in this matchup, being our number 10 seed. And Link is a fairly middle of the pack, being combatant number 42 in the seeding here. So we'll have to see if he can pull off a little bit of an upset here against this Mii Swordfighter. So far, he's been causing a lot of trouble for him, and I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that Mii Swordfighter is still trying to work out the projectile game he needs to be wary of, with Link throwing out all of these projectiles, whether it's an arrow, a boomerang, or the remote bomb. A lot of problems that can be caused by this combatant. Mii Swordfighter holding on to that remote bomb, really trying to make sure that he can prevent Link from getting the utility out of it. Gets picked up again. It's being thrown around kind of willy-nilly here. Gets thrown off the edge of the stage there. It's not going to give him any sort of benefit this time around. Link really needs to finish things off, but that max rage up smash from Mii Swordfighter is going to give him the lead here in this first game. Now, Link having some real struggles here in closing out that stock, needs to find a good connecting option. Boomerang's not going to be it, but it does create a bunch of space that you've then got to be leery of if you are facing off against Link. Gets the back air there, I believe is what that was, and finally equalizes the stocks, and that up smash is a very bad option for Mii Swordfighter to get caught up in. And we've got a little bit of some clanking going on there on the right side. And a side B coming out from Mii Swordfighter as well, as that allows him to close the distance on his opponents fairly well. Gets the grab into the up throw. And the up smash there again coming out for Mii Swordfighter. Not enough to pick up a kill this time around. But we do have that remote bomb in play. Link detonates it in his own face as it comes flying back at him. Really unfortunate play there from Link. Mii Swordfighter making it back to ledge, but does get caught up by that boomerang as it retreats back towards Link. We're fairly even. Mii Swordfighter picks up that second stock with a dash attack, and that can be really problematic for Link here. He gets the retaliation off of the restock. We're even at 0% on our third stock of the game, and both combatants getting caught up in the remote bomb explosion there. Mii Swordfighter really looking to tack on as much damage as he can, and doing so with his multi-connecting hits on his various aerials here. And that remote bomb coming back around, it gets knocked off the edge with that forward tilt from Mii Swordfighter. And that up B grounded from Link does manage to get a decent amount of damage tacked onto Mii Swordfighter. The neutral air gets a little bit more spaces Mii Swordfighter on closer to the center of that stage. Gets that spot dodge around the boomerang. Excellent work there from Mii Swordfighter. Misses the side B, may have not been enough to kill. Gets the neutral air into the shuriken of light, and Link is barely not going to make it back to that ledge. And Mii Swordfighter picks up game 1. And Link is left to attempt to rally and see if he can continue the trend of forcing a game 3. Link's counterpick is Yoshi's Story, a very similar setup to what we saw in our first match, but with a couple of slants here at the end, which I don't know if that's going to really serve him as a benefit, as both combatants have a fair amount of projectiles that they really like to use. Link throws that stock away as he is unable to retreat back to ledge, and that is a very unfortunate misplay on his part if he was looking to rally his way back into this. It shouldn't have gone quite so low with that retaliation there against Mii Swordfighter, and then he gets detonated by his own remote bomb, which again, never something you want to see when you're down. That boomerang comes out from Link, and it does tack on a little bit of damage. The up throw not going to be enough. And Mii Swordfighter really too close to that remote bomb that time around. Not nearly the killing option that Link was hoping for, but every little bit of damage that he can rally helps. And finally that remote bomb equalizing some things here in this second game. Gets the on-stage footstool by retreating on top of Link there. And the forward air not connecting for Mii Swordfighter, unfortunately. Link getting the up B spin attack there as he attacks into Mii Swordfighter, really looking to extend his damage threshold as much as possible there. Gets a down smash whiff there, which could have been really helpful for Mii Swordfighter. 2 shurikens of light, but not able to build off of that in any meaningful way. Gets a down tilt into another shuriken of light, into the forwarder off of that right-hand side. And Link is now on what could very easily be his final stock of this set here before transitioning over to loser's side. and he's picked up his next little bit of damage, which means that he is no longer able to use that Blade Beam, which is a very niche option in Link's kit anyway, so you don't really see it getting used a whole lot. Spot dodges around the up smash from Mii Swordfighter to retaliate with an up tilt of his own. Every little bit of damage that Link can get at this juncture helps. Gets the back air. It's not going to be enough to finish things off for Mii Swordfighter there. Misses his up B, which leaves him wide open to be retaliated against by the side B from Mii Swordfighter. And more spacing around each other. Mii Swordfighter has been looking for a counter all night long, has not yet been able to find one. And it may not be enough to kill at this juncture, but we do get the grab into the pummel there. And that up throw from that bomb onto that top platform and the subsequent detonation is going to even things out, but Link at a very nice percent and struggling to really make pace here and keep even with Mii Swordfighter. He does manage to find an up B there, which tacks on a little bit of some extra damage, but really looking like we are just in a missed opportunity from having thrown that first stock away. Mii Swordfighter goes low, does make it back to that right hand, or that left hand ledge, I should say. Sometimes I get my directions mixed up. And both combatants dancing around that left hand ledge now. Mii Swordfighter spacing around that up smash. You don't want to get caught by that at this juncture. Link clawing his way back into this match unprecedentedly. And that up smash would have been enough, but the second slash did not connect. And Link lands a dash attack and does astoundingly give us that Game 3 situation. And that has been the theme of the day. And we'll have to see who rounds out this set by staying on the winner's side. Game 3, we have countered picked over to Hollow Bastion again. And this seems to be a pretty good place to round out some of these contests. Now, Mii Swordfighter is probably going to benefit a little bit more from having the centralized platform here, as it gives him a really good area to retreat away from a lot of these projectiles that Link likes to throw out against his opponents. He's also surely appreciative of having some level ground as opposed to the weird angles present on Yoshi's story. And manages to pick up that remote bomb as he retreats back to that ledge. Manages to just barely do so, gets rid of it, and Link detonates it in no man's land. No benefit there for either combatant. Link just barely missing, making it back to that ledge. Almost was saved by the neutral air from Mii Swordfighter, but really just having some issues and some struggles keeping pace. Mii Swordfighter finally lands a counter, but does fairly weak damage, all things considered. Link being sent far off that left-hand side. Plenty of resources to make it back to the stage, though, and finally claims that first stock with an up tilt, making things relatively even here. And that forward smash, pretty powerful, ends up dealing a decent amount of damage to Mii Swordfighter, helps to even out the percent count a little bit here. And Link again tacking on another forward smash to really even out our percents here on this second stock. Mii Swordfighter looking to finish things out if he can here and gain a further advantage. Gets parried as he closes in with that side B. And Link lands another up air. Been a really good tool of his for increasing that damage lead. And both combatants making it back over to that left-hand side. The dash attack is going to send Link far off to the left. He's not able to make that back, unfortunately. And we are in a position where Mii Swordfighter, again, is in the advantage state here. Gets caught by the last two strikes of that up smash, and we are even on the third and final stock of the match for both combatants. though Link is currently at a minor percent deficit as he then lands a couple of attacks to put himself back on top there. We've got the jab combo coming out there from Mii Swordfighter. Misses the up smash and gets struck a couple of times by those arrows before landing an up smash into an up air there. Link struggling a little bit here, and both combatants getting caught by the blast of that remote bomb. Link is up into the triple digits, looking to see if he can match that onto Mii Swordfighter here, and does manage to do so. Any strong strike from either combatant may be enough to finish things off. Link looks for the boomerang. That's not the option he should perhaps be fishing for at this point in time. Really looking to build more percent on his opponent. The remote bomb detonation does put Mii Swordfighter in a bit of a scary situation. He misses the second stronger hit at that up smash. Link gets a down tilt to set up into a follow-up option. That up tilt, again, not going to be quite enough if he doesn't land it. And Link is getting struck by his own bomb for what has to be the 5th or 6th time this set. Mii Swordfighter goes down low, manages to make it back. And the up tilt from Link allows him to pull off this upset, which is a very unprecedented win in terms of the rankings for these characters. So Link will have to face off against Ike in round 4 winner's side, and we will see Mii Swordfighter in a very high octane match against Pokemon Trainer in round 3 of loser's side. We've got one more set of fights on round 3 winner's side that we'll be looking at next week. But I hope that you enjoyed today's video for the very least. If you did, make sure that you leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for the daily variety content, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.